You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to round 9 at Texas of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOvals V8 Supercar Series. Brought to you by our sponsors, Inside Lane Productions, TWR Setups, 131 Web Radio Networks, and Scotcher Race Fuels. In behind the cameras once again, Kobe Jordan, and in the booth joining me, Paul Jackson, tonight is James Watson. How you going, James?
Oh, going good. Can't wait for this one at Texas. Everyone's favorite version of Texas. New Texas. Haven't heard anyone say a single thing about this version of this track. Nope, no siree. So because of that, we're definitely going to be in for a good one.
Well, we've had our fair share of carnage or dramas at Texas before. A little bit of tyre wear, I reckon. And people tend to wash out and find that wall out of turn 1 and 2. So, be interesting to see how everyone fares tonight. Who's put the practice in once again. But we do have 100 laps around Texas Motor Speedway tonight. 50% fuel, 4 sets of tyres. A few on the grid tonight that taking provisionals. So a little bit of a smaller field tonight. We've got our championship standings on screen there at the moment. So Gary Wellman with a nice little lead there over Andy Barber now. In second place, 14-point gap there. Troy Davidson in third, Ruben Phelps fourth, Ryan Barber in fifth, Kay Donnelly sixth, Matty Ray seventh, Nicholas Walsh eighth, and Adam Malone, Todd Maxfield there, all tied up for your top 10.
Yeah, last week was a major shake-up in the points with Ruben Phelps getting taken out towards the end of the race, and Wellman having a fantastic run to a podium. So it really kind of flipped the point standings up on its head and given Gary a pretty healthy lead with not too many races left to go in the season.
Yeah, well, last week's recap for Indianapolis. That race finished under the green-white checker yellow flag with Andy Barber being declared the winner at Indy, with Braden Sagasser in second and Kay Donnelly coming home in third. But something interesting, I think, just as we've rolled over from practice to qualifying, we've gone night. So the lights have kicked in at Texas and the sun's gone down.
Well, you know what they say, the stars are at night are big and bright and something else in Texas. I'm not from Texas, so I don't know the song, but yeah, we got all the stars around in the Lone Star State, which is a bit of a surprise, but I can't say I hate it because it'll help put on a much better show under the lights, as well as kind of help curtail the tire wear, which might give us a little bit of a better racing. So we'll see about that.
Well, there's plenty of stars along the walls there, and maybe that might work to the Southern Stars' advantage tonight. But, we are under qualifying at the moment, so Braden Sags are sitting on top currently with a 31.8. Only driver into the 31s. So Adam Malone just jumped to the top there, 31.4. So already we see the Southern Stars boys coming out strong. Got to give a shout out tonight. Requested a shout out, so not sure if Toddy will be tuning in, but Todd Maxfield, hope your family's having a good holiday in Thailand. Sorry you couldn't be there, but bit of a shout out for Todd Maxfield, who had to have some surgery after having a little bit of a moment with a scooter. So hope you have a speedy recovery there, Todd. And I'm sure the boys will put paint together for you. So I heard that you now named the Terminator T800. So we might see a Terminator paint scheme for you when you come back.
As long as they don't make Jade's paint for him, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, maybe they might throw a little picture of a scooter or something on his on the side of his car, perhaps, or an aeroplane that says Thai Airlines or something. We've got about a minute and a half to go for qualifying, so we'll let the guys do the do, and we'll come back with you with our starting grid in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight for round 9 at Texas Motor Speedway for the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOvals V8 Supercar Series. The qualifying session's done and dusted, and Adam Malone will be taking pole position alongside Troy Davidson starting out a second. Ruben Phelps and Andy Barber on the second row. Scott McClintock and Braden Sagasar on the third row. Tom Pritchard and Cade Donnelly on the fourth row. Lachlan Purvis and Ryan Barber for your top 10 on the fifth row.
And on row 6, we have Gary Wellman in the 45 and Perry Anastakis in the 144. Troy Mortensen in the 83 and Jason Tyerman in the 82 on row 7. Angus Sweeney in the 47 and Jake Jackson in the 444 on row 8. Natty Tompkins in the 119 and Colin Bennett in the 242 on row 9. Row 10 features Shane Roffey in the 61 and Peter Matson in the 173, rounding out your top 20. And that's rounding out the field for tonight's race.
Well, speaking of tonight's race, something Kobe started doing, putting in a AI prediction for the races. So tonight's prediction for Texas, we've got Andy Barber in for the win tonight. Momentum plus experience equals danger. Texas rewards a driver who can save tyres early and pounce late. Andy's 3 wins says it all. He's got racecraft patience and isn't afraid to make the moves in traffic. Expect him to be leading laps. So we'll see if Andy Barber can go back to back tonight. Ruben Phelps coming home in second with Texas suits his driving style perfectly. Ruben thrives on momentum tracks and has been a podium machine this season. If caution sets up a shootout, he'll be the guy threading the needle and sending it 3 wide. Well, don't know about that. He does tend to be a little bit cautious there, I think. So we'll see what happens though. Anything happens in those last few laps. And Braden Sagasar coming home in third with the breakout incoming. Quietly stacked 4 podiums without a win. more than anyone without a trophy. Texas could be his turning point if he keeps his nose clean, hits the setup, or wins in reach. So that's the top 3 predictions from AI tonight, with possibility of Adam Malone, Todd Maxfield, who's not actually here, and Matty Ray. So we'll see who can get the job done tonight at Texas, as they are out on track for their pace formation lap. Pace car will be pulling in soon, and Adam Malone taking us to green. So, what's your prediction, James? You heard the AI prediction. What's your prediction for tonight?
Well, the AI is honestly fairly on point, which is concerning. As green flag is out, we're underway. Oh no, we're already wrecking! Oh my goodness! Oh dear Lord Almighty!
Well, I don't think we'd even made the start line there, and we're already cautioned. And I think I've got to beg to differ with that AI, because there was a wild card entry there for Troy Mortensen, and he's already caught up in that one.
Oh man, yeah, he caught the grass right when he really kind of started to get on it, and yeah, the grass did grass things, and then the wall did wall things. That's rough.
Yep. Lawn mowing at Texas. That can definitely happen. And not going to be good for the team either. Took out a couple of teammates there as well. So got to watch that grass. And if you saw just in front, there was actually another couple of guys just in front that got away with that a little bit. They cut the grass. You could see the tire tread through the field there. But unfortunately, it was Troy that got done.
And there was also a big stack of kind of in the middle of the outside line, like kind of fourth on back. There was a weird little stack up that kind of got things out of whack, and I thought we were going to get an incident from that before the one we ultimately got.
Well, very interesting. Most of the field actually coming down pit road on the first lap of that caution. So, going to top up those fuel tanks early while the caution's out.
Yeah, well, we know fuel gets pretty close, especially with the 100 lap, mile and a half races. So it's not all that surprising to see a bunch of guys coming down and trying to top off and give themselves a little more wiggle room to work with strategy-wise. But we see 5 of them saying, nope, I don't need no extra fuel.
Well, definitely going to be a couple of different strategies now out on track. Ruben Phelps, Braden Sager, Scott McClintock, Angus Sweeney, Peter Matson, all choosing to go for the track position. Jumping up to the top 5. Staying out in front of the rest of the field there. So, this car still out at the moment. Not sure if the lights will go out this lap or if we'll have another one. Looks 1 to green this time, so looks like another couple of guys just making another little splash of fuel, get that extra lap and extra strategy. Go the longer distance.
Yeah, and that's huge because when you're doing any sort of strat that relies on some sort of fuel mileage, the worst thing you can do is watching your fuel gauge and just thinking, man, if I just took that opportunity to come down and top off, if I just saved a little more, I could really work this strategy and make it a race-winning strategy. So it's key for those guys in the back to bring it down and get that extra little top off. I don't know what the fuel mileage is. I think it's pretty clear, especially after the Southern Thunder race, that I should probably just shut up when it comes to fuel calculations, since I was wildly off on that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna assume that they've got something in mind that I don't know.
I mean, that is Daytona for you, which unfortunately I had to miss that race. I was always like my super speedways. Would have been a good one to run there. But we are green. Ruben Phelps taking us to green. Missed that green. Braden Sagas are getting a good start around the outside. And Peter Matson looking to go with. Early on, those early laps on those fresh tyres, that inside line will be quite good. But we'll probably see that outside line come alive as that tyres and tyre wear starts to drop off. Got a car on the inside there. I think that might have been Colin Bennett. Possibly. So I think he was involved in that early caution.
Yeah, it looks like you're right.
Braden Sagerson now to the front. Peter Matson staying on that high side. Bit of a drag race down the back straight there.
Yeah, Peter really making the outside line work. Look at that. He just shoots right around Sagasser. Like he was in a completely different gear. Look at that. Good gracious.
Very nice there, but maybe we might see the old chat come alive tonight for Peter Matson once again. Making some moves early on in this race. Troy Davidson up into fourth there, James.
Yeah, that was a nice little move. Him and McClintock got real close entering turn 3, though, which gave me a scare. And oh, that got close, too. Oh, boy, we're almost 3 wide.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Cade. Cade is really sending it. Yeah, that's the thing about turns 1 and 2 is if you can get the car set, you can make a lot of speed around the outside, which is a bit weird, especially since the outside lane here in real life is practically worthless. Here, you can kind of make it work fairly well. And because of how flatter it is, you get so much more momentum and you're able to carry off so much more speed than the cars to your inside. But you really tend to lose it when you try to go around the outside here just because of that big banking. It helps the inside line be that much quicker because there isn't really that loss of momentum since you have so much more banking to work with.
Troy Davidson making a nice move on the inside and Lachlan Purvis up into third as well. But Peter Matson's checked out. 2-second gap over Troy Davidson there. So maybe a little bit of fuel saving from the other guys that didn't pit under that caution. And Peter Matson's just put the hammer down trying to make as much distance as he can, knowing that, you know, got a little bit lighter fuel on board than everyone else. And hoping that he can make advantage of that to, offset that time difference later on.
You reckon that he could maybe be on wet tires? No one's on wets. Never mind.
That's thrown out the window already with Kobe in our ear. But I was going to say, surely not. We haven't had that tyre debate in a few races now, so surely not. But looks like Troy Davidson's closing that gap pretty quickly now. Closed up just under a second, so the gap to Peter Matson's coming down pretty quickly now.
Yeah, at least that makes more sense because that's something that's easily able to be proved or disproved by looking at timing and scoring and whatnot, as opposed to me on one of my many outlandish potential strategies only to get proven wrong almost immediately. Shakes fist at Motegi. But yeah, it was the only thing that was making sense because with how much of a lead he got, it was shocking to see just because you weren't expecting anyone to jump out that far in a race like this. But I guess he was really pushing those tires hardcore. Oh no! Oh! Oh, wow, that is... Oh, jeez! Oh my goodness, that somehow only was a one, technically two car incident there.
It was a big push there from Kay Donnelly, and I think that's Braden Sagasser, if I'm right. Don't have my iRacing tonight, so just off the laptop screen, but there was a big moment there, and sparks coming off the back right of that car even too, so a lot of damage there. Lucky to avoid the other boys coming through to pull that off the track. But we've stayed green as well, so that's going to make things very difficult for Brand to get back into this race if we continue green.
Yeah, looks like the 41 got real up close and personal with the rear bumper of the 116, and it sent Sagasser into the outside wall at a high rate of speed. And yeah, I think he's gonna be having to wait at least one more week for that first win, because yeah, that car is pretty well toast.
Well, I don't think AI could have predicted that one tonight somehow.
Nope.
That gap's now closed to Peter Matson, so 2/10 for second. Troy Davidson, Lachlan Purvis, Perry Nastakis, all on the hunt for Peter Matson at the front there. Ruben Phelps not far behind. Up 17 of 100 here at Texas, coming on to 18 now. A little bit of a gap, 5-car breakaway. And further back you got Cade Donnelly, and couldn't quite see who that was with him at the moment over the rest of the field. Ruben Phelps to the inside of Perry Nastakis there. Getting that move done nice and clean. Lap 19, so we might go to a quick air break, then we'll come back, see what happens with pit stops and strategies as we tick away on those laps. So don't go away.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone viewing at home for round 9 at Texas Motor Speedway. 2G Mobile and everything simulate OzOvals V8 Supercar Series. Things are heating up at the front here. Ruben Phelps locked and Purvis having a nice little dookie out here for second, trying to get the lead from Peter Matson at the moment. Troy Davidson just dropping back a little bit. And looks like Ruben Phelps trying to go for that outside line then, James.
Yeah, he's trying to send it around the outside, use that momentum to his advantage, but Peter Matson is doing a magnificent job at defensive driving. Like, it's wild looking at, because I was talking about it during the break, like, look at that. He's entering at the middle of the straightaway down, which you wouldn't really expect here. That's like trying to hold track position at like Daytona or Talladega, you know, running to the inside and trying to make people go around you. It's not something that you would expect to work at all in a mile and a half like Texas, where, you know, you drive it more traditionally, but he's running that inside defensive line, and it's working fantastic. Like, no one can get around him. And, like, I was worried watching him do it for his tire wear, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him at all. Like, he's been running that for, like, the last 10-plus laps, and they still haven't gotten by. Now, this is the closest Ruben has gotten, but still not enough. He just can't keep the momentum around and stay on the outside of Peter. This is great driving from Matson right here.
Definitely, and you can notice that the gap really drops off coming into 1 as well for Ruben. So getting a nice little run into 1, but out of sort of 3, that line just sort of closes up a bit again before coming around the start-finish line. They're back into 1, so definitely going to be a hard task to try and pass Peter Matson there, I think.
Yeah, and it's kind of flipped on what I was expecting. Like, what I was talking about earlier, like, I anticipated it be easier to carry speed on the outside in 1 and 2, and that you wouldn't be able to do the same in 3 and 4, but Ruben is able to get a lot of momentum on the outside, but the change in banking, he just can't keep it, although Peter gets a little high, a little into Ruben, in fact, and he'll hang on to it. That was the closest Phelps has been all race long at this point to getting around that 173.
Well, maybe a little bit of tyres just starting to show their wear now, lap 28. Remember Peter Matson, Ruben Phelps, I think, I'm not sure about Lachlan, but Perry and Astakis and that, they did stay out on that early caution as well, so they'll probably be needing fuel, I'd say, in the maybe next 5-10 laps compared to the rest of the field.
Big run for Phelps outside.
See there again, just around the start finish there, that gap opens up once again. So losing a bit of momentum out of 4, where Peter Matson can hold that and keep that run going.
Yeah, just as quick as Ruben gets that run, it goes away.
Just got to probably find a little bit more into turn 3 there, as he gets a bit of a push there from Ruben from behind.
Yeah.
As we watch out of 2 there, you've got that nice little gap down the back straight, and you can see how wide the other drivers are coming into 3. That's where you get that run. Ruben trying to get that round the outside. You just can't quite get that pace on that longer line around the outside there. Looks like Pariana Starks with a big send in coming through. He's going straight through Lachlan and Ruben Phelps. So, all the way to second. Nice move there from Pariana Starks.
Yeah, that was a send of a lifetime. I'm amazed Ruben had time to see him.
That's going to make things a little bit hard now. Phelps is going to get stuck in there behind Peter Matson, and there's some pace and from Parry. He's coming alive now, so he's getting a good run there. We'll see if Parry can make that move on Peter Matson. Maybe he's just been sitting back there, bit of tyre wear, but not sure.
Oh.
Oof. Looks like he's definitely a lot closer there than Phelps was out of 4, so he's got a nice run there, but probably not going to get that into turn 1. Is who we got there coming into pit lane?
Meatball for Sweeney, it sounds like. I think it might be killed the tires, because I don't see any damage on that Mustang. Oh no, there it is! Oh my goodness! How in the world? Phelps and oh no, and they're wrecking!
Oof.
And once again, they save it. That was like 2. How are we still green? How are these cars not wrecked? Wow, that was certainly an adventurous lap for Ruben Phelps right there. Oh, and in the chaos, we have a new race leader. Purvis finally gets around Matson, and that's why here comes Matson on the pit road.
Yeah, it was only a couple of laps, 35, so I was right on my prediction of 5 to 10, so that 5 lap mark.
Well, Paul, that was a very adventurous lap and a half right there. Everything happened.
Unfortunately, I missed half of that. I didn't get to see the good bits because I've got the single screen, and this setup's awesome tonight. And Alt tab to the comments was trying to reply there to Steve Hoppett. But if you're floating around the Discord there, Steve, you'll see my setup tonight. I posted on the chat. Just running off a laptop and holding on to my microphone. So it's a pretty good setup I got going on tonight, and same for next week. So made my way down to Melbourne for the week. And work from home while the kids are on school holidays. So Peter Matson on that first pit from the little offset strategy from that caution where most of the field pitted. So Lachlan Purvis now our race leader, Troy Davidson second, Gary Wellman up into third, Scott McClintock still having a nice run there in fourth.
Yeah, things have kind of calmed down a little bit, if you can call this calm. But compared to what it was a few laps ago, yeah, this is pretty calm.
Well, James, it's the calm before the storm. We saw it at Indy last week, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Oh, man. I want to get a replay of all that whole samazzle between Phelps, Nanasakis, and Phelps and Donnelly. Like,
Well, let's see if Kobe Jordan can dig that one up for us. As looks like Braden Sagas are just running the wall, trying to stay out the way there.
yeah, he was up in no man's land trying to stay out of the way of the lead lap cars.
And here's our replay moment. So Peter Madsen at the front, Perry Nastakis second, Ruben Phelps third.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Ruben
So-
Phelps into the back of Perry Nastakis there. Well, look of it. A little bit further back on the camera view to see what happened coming in. Ruben sending that up the inside, a bit of a return serve there. Perry trying to shut that door, but was too late in that.
And a great save by Perry, and then in all the chaos of trying to get set and back on the track, end up 3, I think it was almost 4 wide too, and Phelps and Donnelly just met in the chaos, and it set Cade into the grass, and Cade with an amazing job saving that through the grass. So unfortunately, Cade ended up being the biggest loser out of that whole calamity, falling all the way outside down to P12, while Anastakis and Phelps rebounded up in the top 5 and just outside the top 5. So we got more cars bringing it down for their first stop.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the Roffies. Shane, maybe. Shane and Jason Timon. So a couple of early stoppers there as well.
Saw Purvis get real close to the outside wall off of 2.
Well, it's good to see a few different people up in our top 5 tonight there, James. You know, Lachlan Purvis leading the way at the moment, and Scott McClintock on that top 5 there. So good to see a few other drivers mixing it up at the front there. Andy Barber back in 6th, so he's slowly coming through as well. One to watch out for.
Yeah, it's been a good last few races for McClintock. He's been able to put together some pretty good runs, as we see. Here comes Phelps bringing it in.
Yeah,
And Purvis as well. Oh no, Purvis! Oh, and he hit the inside wall!
Well, he's still pointing the right way and still going, so not sure if he got loose or got a little bit of a helping hand in that one coming into pit lane. Might be able to see that on a replay from a different angle if we can. I'm just about to jump to that replay now. A bit of a gap there back to Phelps as Lachlan Purvis comes into pit lane, and I'd say it was probably a little bit too hot coming into pit lane, and the old brake lock up into the wall.
Yep. Coming in too hot with a little too much rear brake and kicks the rear out, slaps the inside wall. It looked fairly square, although most of the contact came with that left rear, so we'll see how much damage it is, how much it affects that 1.9 machine.
Well, we're at lap 48, so this is going to be an interesting one because we've got the different strategies going on here. Those that obviously pitted under caution. Troy Davidson coming down pit road now, so don't know I can't recall now if that's his first stop. We can get that one up on the screen for us as well. But if these boys can make 50 laps, then Troy Davidson's had one stop. So Ryan Barber 2 stops. That's interesting. I think that was the little splash and dash we saw on the second lap of the caution early on, possibly. So yeah, I don't know if some of these boys can get to lap 50, then we might be seeing this as a last stopper. But some of those that didn't pit under that first caution on the first lap might need a second stop.
Yeah, but I think it might be a bit much to ask for even the guys that came down and topped up under that first caution, because they're just barely making it to lap 50. So, and without the added help of those extra laps, they might need to take a bit of a splash and go here at the end, which still should set them up better than those that are having to take a more lengthy pit stop for a more amount of fuel. As we see the last group that came down, bringing it off of pit road, Malone, Wellman, and one of the Barbers, I think, is Andy?
Well, we got a race at the front here. Scott McClintock taking the race lead from Peter Matson. So two that did that early stopper as they didn't pit under that first caution, and they've got a nice little 7.5 second, almost 8 second gap to Ruben Phelps back in third. So maybe this is working out. Maybe that strategy is going to pay off a little bit. But Phelps didn't actually pit either under that first caution. So whatever Scott McClintock and Peter Matson are doing tonight, they're pulling this one out the bag, that's for sure. Bit of a pretty quick pit stop there for Scott McClintock too, 18.9. So maybe a short fuel or no tyres possibly. There's some quick stops there. So even Peter Matson 21 compared to the average sort of 28s from everyone else. Maybe Scott McClintock and Peter Matson just trying to make up some of that time that they think they might lose by maybe not taking tyres or something. Or maybe they just feel pretty comfortable they don't need to take tyres here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think you can go farther than what they've gone without taking tires, but whatever they've done, especially McClintock, it's working because they're actually starting to stretch out the gap to this whole pack here from third on back. Like it's up past 8 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. And Scott McClintock's checking out on Peter Matson as well, 1.5 seconds back to Peter Matson. So go time for Scott McClintock. Maybe these guys are trying to see if they can squeeze out 50 laps and looking at that fuel saving option to try and get home without needing to stop. Whereas Scott and Peter out the front there just thinking they're going to have to make that stop, so they're just going to drop that hammer and go for that little splash and dash towards the end.
Yeah, that'd be my guess too.
Well, we'll see what happens soon enough, as we're over that halfway mark, lap 55 of 100. So when we tick over another 20 odd laps, might have another indication when we get to that 3/4 race mark of what's going to play out towards the finish. Might just go to a ad break for the moment while things are settling in once again from pit stops. So We'll let this play out for a few laps, go to a quick ad break, and we'll be right back with you.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, everything simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, we are back. Round 9 of Texas Motor Speedway. Lap 67 of 100 for the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOvals V8 Supercar Series. And Scott McClintock has completely checked out on Peter Matson. He's put the 8-second move on Peter Matson now, so a little bit further back. Looks like maybe Peter Matson taking a fuel stop.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he pit, because, everyone passed him, and we don't see him, and yep, there he is.
Well, big gap there, almost 10 seconds back to Ruben Phelps now, so once again, maybe that's the last stop there for Peter Matson, so trying to do the old undercut once again, the splash and dash early on to top off that tank to get home. And we'll see when Scott McClintock's going to make that jump. Yes, we're going to be coming up 30 to go.
So you see Anastakis around Phelps for P2. And we're going to have a Ruben trying to take it back, and Perry's going to hold on to it. I think McClintock's in.
Yeah, that gap's definitely closed, and yep, there he is coming down pit lane now. So the bigger question is, can the rest of the field go to lap 100 on fuel? Or are they going to have to make a splash and dash as well, which will give Scott McClintock and Peter Matson quite a good chance tonight in this race?
Yeah, I think... Yeah, honestly, I have no idea what's gonna work. Because, like, you know, you bring it down for a splash, it's a much shorter pit stop, but, you know, you're still losing a lot of time having to go down pit road to begin with. And, yeah, Matson and McClintock are taking essentially a full stop, so that's a lot of time lost, but they'll have fresh tires that they'll be able to push on all the way to the end. They'll be full push, don't have to worry about saving anything for the most part, and it seems like everyone in this lead pack is gonna be crawling for the most part, so theoretically those two have a great chance of just driving around everyone and making it a moot point. Now, I think if any of them can actually make it to lap 100, I think they're gonna win. The problem is it's gonna take a lot to make it to lap 100. I don't think it's possible. Again, this goes without saying, I'm very wrong on a lot of things when it comes to strategy, so we could very well see one of them make it and prove me wrong like as tradition, but it's gonna take a lot, and so you're just hoping that whatever splash you do have to take is still much quicker than the rate of speed those two are going to be coming. So we'll see. That's the fun of these strategy races, is you truly have no idea what the heck is going to happen, as we see a heavy battle for the lead between these two. They've been battling all night long.
Well, the battle at the front here at the moment between Phelps and Anastakis, that's not going to help the timing as well. That's going to give McClintock and Matson a better chance of catching up as well. As looks like we've got a couple more into pit lane as well. So yeah, it's going to be a hard ask, I think, for a few of these guys to try and make that lap 100 on the fuel. But we did see, obviously, the rest of this field dropping back, 10 seconds to McClintock earlier, and there's probably a good reason of the fuel save on that. So now that these battles are happening at the front here between Anastakis and Phelps trading position lap after lap, maybe it is go time that they do have enough fuel saved to try and make it home.
Yeah, we'll see. And plus, McClintock and Batson are both still a lap down. Oh, man! Well, that answers one question. Ruben's definitely not going to make it on fuel, and neither is Troy Davidson. But, oh, man, that pin entry. Ooh, that could have been bad.
Yeah, I almost thought that was going to be an elbow out to send him into pit lane, but yeah, that was leaving nothing on the table there, trying to take as much advantage coming in to pit lane. Looks like Anastakis is coming in this time round possibly as well. So Tom Pritchard taking the lead of this race. Adam Malone second, Gary Wellman third. Nice run tonight as well from Jack Jackson there, I think. Seen him popping up into the top 5 through the race.
And as we were talking, Ryan Barber absolutely, well, I would say absolutely, but he was definitely sideways bringing it down to pit road. But it didn't look too all over the place, just nice casual little slide. A little bit of a power slide.
Bit hard for me to see with the tower at the top there. Maybe we can get the tower on the side to where Phelps and McClintock are currently. So Phelps there, I think, the spot in the top 10, and McClintock 8th. So Wellman coming down pit road this time as well. So yeah, definitely a splash and dash for most of the field now, I think. And you can see that time there, James. Scott McClintock is shaving that time slowly.
Yeah, and McClintock is ahead of Phelps, but you look down, Peter Matson is all the way down in 15th. So you wonder if his stop maybe not the best as we saw. Oh, things got close between the Southern Stars boys there on that pin entry. It was nearly very expensive for the team.
Yeah, all of them jumping the same time, and very close there between Tom Pritchard and Ryan Barber there. Well, Andy Barber, sorry. And once again, we've got a little bit of a mix-up at the front there. So now some laps led there for Jake and Shane Roffey up into second. And 20 laps to go. And yeah, it's still quite hard to pick a winner at the moment.
Yeah, it's still completely anyone's guess, anyone's game here for the most part. But we see here comes Phelps already on the back of that 016 car.
Well, I'm just having a look, and I'm actually thinking third place. Troy Davidson there. We saw him come in with Phelps, and he's in third. So Troy Davidson's sitting pretty well there. Shane Roffey copping black flag coming down pit road at the moment. So maybe a meatball there. Well, no, just a black flag. So we'll have a look at the replay here. Possibly the pit entry.
Yeah. Almost got there, but not enough.
Well, Troy Davidson sitting pretty at the moment with the race lead over Gary Wellman, almost 1.5, 2 seconds back, and Adam Malone on his heels.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, because we saw Phelps pretty much leading that pack for the entirety of that last run, give or take a couple of position swaps with on the stockist, but Troy was towards the end of it for pretty much that whole run, so I'm thinking Troy might have been able to save a little bit more, which helped make that pit stop a lot shorter. Because that's the only
Possibly
thing that... go on, Paul.
Yeah, possibly that, and along with that pit entry, as you know, we saw Reuben almost get shoved into pit road, trying to slow right down the last minute, which, you know, we saw Troy Davidson get a nice run in right up behind Phelps.
Yeah, 3-car up into P2, and he's coming at a high rate of speed for Troy Davidson.
Looks like Andy Barber making a move on Wellman as well, so those stars are starting to align for the Southern Stars, I think. There's maybe a bit more tyre save or something like that. And now they're coming alive. So Adam Malone to the front now.
Southern Stars are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. Oh, hello! Whoa.
Ooh.
That sure got close between Troy and Andy going into turn 3.
Ooh, yeah, and Wellman taking advantage of that as well, coming through on Troy Davidson. A championship leader currently, sitting in P3 in this race at Texas. Adam Malone leading over Andy Barber at the moment. Gary Wellman and Troy Davidson. And further back, Tom Pritchard for your top 5. Those laps are counting down. We're coming down soon to be 10 to go here at Texas, and what started out with a caution as soon as we went green, it's turned into a green flag race.
Yeah, and a very strategy intensive green flag race. Oh, boy, what a move!
Ooh, there comes Wellman, a big swerve, looking to make that dive into the corner, try and get under Andy Barber there, but it's going to get up alongside of him out of 4.
Oh, man. I think they made contact.
Yep, definitely looked like there was a little bit there, but Rubbin's racing at the moment.
And this is a big important battle for a championship position too.
Well, I think it was Andy Barber in second in the championship as well. So
yeah. Oh no!
Bit of contact. Troy Davison, Andy Barber. Not going to be happy with that move. 9 to go. Andy's going to want to look and try and get that back. Try and get himself a podium finish tonight.
And then Troy got real close to the rear end of Gary. Almost Simboy on Simboy violence right there.
I mean, at least it was Simboy and Simboy, not Simboy on Scooter tonight.
Oh, man. 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 That is mean. That is mean. Oh. Man. Literal insult to injury. Man. Poor Todd.
I mean, if we see that Scooter down the street, we know what's going to happen to it.
Oh. Anyways, Gary starting it. Oh boy.
Ooh. Comes Troy Davidson on the inside of Wellman now.
And Andy really tried to follow him through.
Yeah,
Gary
Wellman
said
falling
nope.
back to the clutches.
Oh boy, might have to get my Regalan impression here. Championship implications.
Adam Malone still just sitting there and first coming up on some lap traffic as well. He's just watching the little battle go on behind him at the moment. And Ryan Barber, Scott McClintock there back in 7th and 8th.
Yeah, once again, a real good run for Scott so far. Like, led a bunch of laps. Looked like he might have been on the winning strategy there for a good chunk of this race.
Biggest mover that I can see there.
Oh, we're side by side for the lead! Oh, man!
Looking to get separated by Wellman, not quite close enough to make it 3 wide. But, ooh.
Look at this tandem drafting, Simboy versus Southern Star. Oh, God, Wellman's so close to the rear Malone.
Troy Davidson getting that jump in front of Adam Malone. Wellman looking for that inside, not quite able to make that run.
Thought Malone was going to go for a bump and run there. And he got a big chunk of the grass. Oh, and Malone too.
Well, I might be lagging up a bit here. Hopefully this laptop's not overheating on me. Instead of freeze moment. So I'll let you bring this one home, James. 3 to go.
Yeah, Malone sending it on the outside. Can't keep the momentum, and here comes Wellman to the inside. Malone trying to take over P2. So he got 2 laps to go. Davidson now has his teammate behind him, which you think would be nice to see, but I don't think so. Gary wants this win bad. We see Malone falling back outside the top 3. Oh, here comes Wellman. Davidson trying the Peter Madsen defensive line, and he'll hold on to it. Couple car length gap, in fact, on Wellman. So we go white flag, 1 lap to go. Does Wellman have anything left? And what does Andy Barber have? Here comes Wellman around the outside, or trying. Oh, not quite. And Davidson still holds the lead. Wellman's super close to the wall on the exit of 2. Davidson all alone. Here comes Barber to the inside of Wellman. Nope, not going to do it. Out of turn 4, here comes Troy Davidson. Troy Davidson will win at Texas. Oh, Wellman in 2nd, Barber in 3rd. Adam Malone will bring it home P4. Man, what a scrap right there. Phelps will recover to bring home a top 5. Ryan Barber in P6. Scott McClintock bringing home top 10 in P7. Tom Pritchard in 8th, Jake Jackson in the 444, bringing it home 9th, Lachlan Purvis rounding out the top 10. I'll pass over to Paul for 11th through 20.
Arian Starkis coming home in 11th after a great run as well. Peter Matson in 12th. The strategy just not quite working out there. Kate Donnelly 13th. Jason Tyman in 14th. Angus Sweeney coming home with the 15th finish. Noddy Tompkins 16th. Shane Roffey 17th. Braden Sagasser in 18th after that wall hit. Colin Bennett in 19th and Troy Mortensen after that lap 1 caution coming home in 20th. So what a finish there with Sim Boys and the Stars putting on a good show there for the remainder laps there at Texas.
Yeah, that was unbelievable scrap. Just all 4 of them throwing haymakers at each other. They weren't even discriminating. It didn't matter if they were teammate or not. They were throwing haymakers on teammates, throwing haymakers on rivals, just all kinds of punches thrown. And 23 was the one standing tall after that fight.
Sure. Well, we'll go to a quick ad break. We'll get the drivers up in the booth here, and we'll have a chat with them, so don't go away.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, we are back, and thanks everyone tuning in tonight with us at home for round 9 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulator OzOvals V8 Supercar Series. Joining me in the booth for our 3rd place podium finish is Andy Barber. You got a copy, Andy?
Got a copy. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, good, mate. Good little battle there at the end of the race for those remainder laps there.
Yeah, mate. Bit of a tough one at the end, but yeah, I just threw everything that I had at the back of Gary, and yeah, obviously just didn't have enough at the end to cover him. But really, really great race, and good to see that the the long run strat played out a little bit more to our advantage tonight.
Yeah, didn't see much of you or the Southern boys early on in that race. You sort of sitting mid-pack there for a while, and what was the strategy tonight? Just taking it easy and seeing what happened. Obviously, we had that early caution as well that shook things up a little bit.
Yeah, no, we basically just wanted to run the fuel out as long as we could and look after the tyre. So I essentially was pretty much clutching that race from the start, and just to try and have that better tyre advantage at the end if it did go green after the green flag stops. But we kind of changed the plan, went to plan B in that second stint because it looked like we were around about 3 or 4 laps short from the end. So trying to stretch that out was looking more and more unlikely, and when we saw the guys in front pit, we kind of made that call to go with them as well. So we kind of flipped the strategy on its head, and it popped us out in the top 4 there, and we were in the position to have a battle towards the end.
Yeah, nice. And unfortunate there for Adam Malone, obviously, leading and a bit of that while that battle was unfolding then, just falling to the back of that pack. So unfortunate there for him to miss out on podium finish.
Yeah, I think he was saying earlier that he kind of gave up that high line to Troy and got under him, and that might have been his demise there, because once they got through, it was kind of hard to contain those boys. But hats off to both those drivers. They drove their asses off tonight and definitely deserved the podium.
Yeah, definitely, and can't take that away from any of you. Even all you deserved a podium spot tonight. For those remaining laps there, as he put on quite the show there for everyone at home.
Yeah, absolutely, and just eyes forward to Phoenix next week. I'm looking forward to that one. Pretty strong there, so hopefully we go well there as well.
Well, that's a track that I hate, but as long as someone's got the strengths there, we'll have another show on our hands next week.
Yeah, we'll take it to him and see what we got.
Easy done. Well, sitting there just behind Wellman in the championship, so hopefully you can finish above him next week.
Yeah, he was pretty much my target this race. I was 14 points off him going into this, so he might have crept out a little bit with a couple more points finishing a position in front. But we're just enjoying the battle this year, and just plan to get the dogs.
Well, yep, get the dogs. Hopefully you will, but we'll see. We've still got a few more races to go yet, so anything can happen. But we'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors and go on with your evening.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks to you guys in the booth with the call tonight, and Inside Lane Productions for putting this on. And congratulations to the other 2 guys. 1-2 for the Sim Boys, so that's great to see. And just Southern Stars, all of our boys, Tom, myself, D-Mac, Junior, Adzi, the crew back here, and our sponsors are RBI Trading Cards, Mish's Excel Garage, 7-Eleven, and Sydney Pool Servicing.
Alrighty, well, thanks for the shout to your sponsors, and well done on podium finish 3rd tonight at Texas.
No worries, see you in the desert next week.
Will do. But moving on, we'll pass you over to James for 2nd place.
All right, hey, Gary Wellman, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, James, how you going?
Going good. That was a unreal scrap between the 4 of you, the closing laps of this race. Take us through the battle through your eyes there.
Yeah, it was good. I kind of never felt comfortable tonight, so I was kind of happy to be in that top 4. And Ruben dropped off, and but those couple of other guys up the front there, we've raced them plenty, and they're all going to race hard and clean, so it was always going to be a fun battle. And couldn't quite get Troy there. I sort of missed the apex on turn 1 and 2 and got him underneath me, and I didn't want to get too dirty, him being my teammate. I think I've taken him out once this year already, so I didn't want to do that again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you two were battling hard amongst the 2 of you for the win. What normally is the strat when it's a Simboy versus Simboy for the win? What's your guys' papaya rules when it comes to that?
Yeah, we don't usually have too many. Well, I think there's been plenty of times where we've wiped each other out when we were leading in front, but didn't want tonight to be another one of those. So happy to at Troy. Good to see him get a win, and yeah, like I say, it's just good fun racing those boys up the front there, and yeah, it didn't really worry me where I came in the whole top 4 there. It was just good fun racing.
Yeah, there was a lot of talks on the broadcast about strategy and which one was going to be the prevailing strategy, and obviously you guys nailed it there. What was the plan, especially after when you guys brought it down for that next to last stop? What was the plan going forward, trying to get to the end?
Yeah, I didn't really have too much of a plan. I kind of just pitted when it felt right, really, that time. I didn't really have anything sort of planned. It just, on that lap, I thought, oh yeah, I'll just chuck her in there. There's 20 to go. I did half think about the one stopper, and it was almost on, but yeah, just not quite. So yeah, I don't think anyone would have got there tonight, and you just would have had to save too much and give up too much ground. So there was definitely a 2-stopper for everyone, and thought it might have been good just to have a bit fresher tyres at the end there. But yeah, Troy did well on the tyres he had to get the win.
Alrighty, well, that was a heck of a performance by you. You stretched that championship lead out just that little bit further. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, just Sim Boys, Hot Toddy's Heating Installs, United Electrical, yeah, all the series sponsors, and yeah, everyone for turning out tonight. And yeah, I think Toddy got a mention in the broadcast, but yeah, we're thinking of him. He's in hospital in a bit of a bad way. He needs to learn how to ride a scooter, old Toddy. But yeah, hopefully he recovers quick anyway, because he's messed himself up nicely.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Gary, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Cheers, boys. See yous.
Alrighty, now over to Paul for our race winner.
Alrighty, well, there you go, Toddy. You know who threw you under the bus tonight. But on to our race winner at Texas, Troy Davidson. How you going?
Yeah, good, Jacko. Always good with the win, mate. So it's been a long time coming, but yeah, good to get one on the board.
Yeah, no doubt. And been a little bit since we've had a chat with you, but no, it was a good race there, good battle at the end especially, and thought might have seen Ruben Phelps up there with you. He obviously came into pit road. You come flying in behind him in that last stop.
Yeah, it's it. Yeah, it's been a hard going, mate. I sort of last week I don't know what was going on. It was the worst race for me in a long time. I just had no pace, but I'm glad to sort of resurrect that this week. And but no, all in all, I was stoked with that race. Sort of Andy, Adam, and Gaz, we all had good battle there at the end, and I think any 4 of us could have got across the line if we played it right, sort of thing. So happy to take the win with that one. But it's a good fun race.
Yeah, definitely. And what was your goal tonight? Obviously, again, probably no one banked on having a lap 1 caution, which I've seen those before. And sometimes, if you get the half the field sort of cross the line and the others don't before that caution comes out, it can kind of mess up everyone's race. But what were you sort of thinking about when that happened?
Yeah, well, I seen that. I think there was 20, so we're a bit down on numbers tonight. Obviously, a few of the guys are out and stuff, so sort of saying it could go green flag tonight. And then obviously, turn 1, she yellow. But yeah, I've been playing around my fuel calculator and stuff a bit, and we sort of looked at it. It wasn't quite doable for 1 stop, so but I knew it was obviously still if it went green, it was going to be a fuel game. But yeah, like I say, my main goal this week, Jacko, was just to resurrect me where I was at Indy last week. I just didn't have anything there. I don't know what was going on. So yeah, I was just happy to sort of put a bit of performance on the track, mate, and come away with anything at podium, top 5. I would have been happy with tonight just after last week. So take the wins even better. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, can't be more happier than a win tonight. So definitely, fixed whatever issues you had last week at Indy with a win tonight at Texas.
That's it, mate. That's always the goal, isn't it? It's been a while since I've been on the top steps, so nice to do a burnout, and I got halfway through and ran out of fuel, so at least I've done a few skids there. That was all good.
Yeah, obviously the play around with your fuel calculations, must have nailed that one as well. If you just had enough in the tank to do a celebratory burnout and then run out, so got that one right.
Yeah, it's a real fine line because I come in and I looked at it and I thought, because I've been saving fuel the whole race and I knew it was going to be pretty hot at the end there, so I banged a few more litres in and then I think it was about a second and a half ahead of the others, and it was saying had about 5 laps up my sleeve, but when I started out my own and putting in some hotter laps, my fuel calculator came right down sort of, and I thought, oh, hang on a sec, so I had to go back to the pack and then save a few laps, but then I was sort of fourth and I'm like, all right, got a bit of a race on here, and but just, luckily it sort of come my way, but it was touch and go. You just can't put too much fuel in, but you don't want to be short either. It's a real fine balance.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, taking more fuel, more time stopped, and losing those valuable seconds on track. So definitely got that one right. But well done on a win tonight at Texas. We'll let you have a shout out to your sponsors as well.
Yeah, cheers, Jacko. Yeah, Sim Boys, Hot Toddy Heating Souls, and shout out to Toddy in hospital too. I think you boys are aware of it. A few pictures in Discord and stuff here. He's been banged up pretty hard this week. So, yeah, shout out to you, Toddy. United Electrical, and then, you guys in the broadcast, Doogie. Hang on a sec. What do we got here? All the sponsors. OzOvals, Inside Lane Productions, Everything Simulated, and Doogie Mobile. Yeah, thanks a lot to everyone involved.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Troy, and well done once again on a win tonight, Texas. So I'll let you go and celebrate that one again, and we'll catch you next week at Phoenix, I believe.
Oh, yep, no, interest in that. We'll do, Jacko. We'll catch you then.
Alrighty, thank you. Well, James, that went a lot quicker than I anticipated. I thought we might have had another caution or two, maybe, with that early first lap caution with that lawn mowing.
Yeah, that it looked like it was gonna go one way, but thankfully, no more incidents. Well, no more incidents that brought out a yellow. We definitely saw a good amount of incidents from that point on, but yeah, that's what you want to see from a race, right? We had the perfect mix of everything. We had some chaos, some calamity, a whole lot of strategy play, and at the end, good, clean, absolutely knockdown, drag out battling for the race win, and no one ending up in the safer barrier. So what more could you ask for?
Well, what we ask for, we trade in lawnmowers for garden rakes next week as we go to Phoenix. So we'll be raking the sand there. But we'll,
as long as we're not picking up a scooter at this point, I think that's all we can ask for.
Well, as long as our drivers don't do any more antics on scooters or even skateboards or anything like that, we'll have a full grid again next week. But thanks everyone tuning in at home tonight, and join us for round 9 at Texas. Wish you all good night.